Well, happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to Lisa Horton Crafts. I'm Sheryl Abernathy, and I'm here to share a card that I made using some of Lisa's fabulous products. I hope that you're having a good day. Is everyone able to hear me okay? It looks like everything's working, but I just want to make sure that people can hear me. So I am thinking about the people that are in the southeast part of the U.S. So they've got a terrible storm coming, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't hit the way that they're predicting that it will. But we are praying for everyone there, and that they'll be safe, and that the storm will, if it comes, it'll pass quickly. Very good. Thank you, Stephanie. So we'll go ahead and get started. I thank you so much again for coming. This card today, I'm going to be using the Everyday Sentiment strips. Those are really nice, one of my favorites. And then the Wildflower Spray 3D embossing folder. And the last is the layering stencils that coordinate for the Wildflower Spray. So these are the core products that I'm going to be using. And the card that I made is here. And I hope you can see all of the dimension on this. This card is really very nice. And the ink choices that I made were some interference ink, well, actually the metallic ink, Silver Shine, and then the Night Sky interference ink, and then two of the matte blending inks, Sweet Violet and Jingleberry. So those are the colors that we're going to be using for today's project. So we'll just go ahead and get right to it. We're going to start with the stencils. There are, I think there's 7 stencils to this one. No, 6 stencils. So we'll be doing some stenciling, and this card really comes together quickly. As you'll see, it doesn't take a lot of effort, but I think I got some beautiful results using it. Okay, let's see here. Got my numbers where they need to be, and let me pull out my Ultimate 2, my favorite stamping tool, and perfect for Lisa Horton dies, I'll tell you. And then I'm just going to take, this is an A2 size card, and I'm just going to put the stencil right onto the card front, and I'll stencil it this way. So we'll put this down onto my tacky mat, get my paper there, and then got lots of space for my stencil to hang out, so that's good. And we'll start, the first stencil is the leaves. So I'm doing the leaves in a combination of the Silver Shine and the Night Sky. So we'll start with that and just run through and put that ink. And as you saw, this is going to give you a nice gorgeous shine to those leaves. And silver leaves are a little non-traditional, but I thought it really worked well with the colors that I selected. So what about, have you guys had a chance to pick up these inks? I know they tend to fly off the shelves as soon as they get in stock. They are wonderful. And I'm using it on white cardstock, but these metallic inks are beautiful. I think I said interference. These metallic inks are beautiful regardless of what color cardstock you use. They're just really, really gorgeous. So, oops, let me move this up just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. There we go. That's a little better. And I hope you can you see everything okay? I changed my lighting and angle just a little bit to try and eliminate some of the glare. And if you have trouble seeing, let me know, and we'll see what kind of adjustments we can make. But I'm just going through with this Silver Shine hitting all the leaves there. Really, really quickly. Oh, I love the shine, and it's so smooth. If you don't have these inks, I'm telling you, you got to get them because they are gorgeous. So there's stencil number 1. And then for stencil number 2, we're putting the detail on the leaves. And so I'm going to switch now to the night sky. Okay, thank you, Stephanie. I'm glad everything looks okay. And then we'll just add some detail onto those silver leaves. And it doesn't have to be really dark, but I'm going to go, I think, a little darker than I did on my sample. Just because, no, no real reason, just because. And we'll see how this turns out. But I love, 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 love these interference inks. All of these inks are really nice. And you just get such wonderful results with them. All of her products, they coordinate well, they work well together, they're easy to use. What else? I just, can't say enough good about these products. As you can tell, I'm a big fan. So, and I could use some more of the ink that's actually on my stencil because I got quite a bit there. And I'm just going around, and the inks just really blend nicely too. I think they do anyway. I get great results. And it looks like I hit every part. I like to go both directions, just in case something is not covered. But there we have that. Let's see what those leaves look like. Oh, look how pretty those leaves are. Isn't that nice? I just love it. And so we are done with leaves. And then we're going on with the first layer of color for our florals, the flowers. I use Sweet Violet for some and Jingleberry for others. So I'll start with the Sweet Violet first. And I really wanted just kind of a light layer here. So I tried not to be too heavy-handed with this first layer. Put it down lightly. And just go around wherever I wanted a violet flower. You can do your flowers all the same, or you can mix and match. You can have all of them be different. Whatever color combination floats your boat, but I like this one. Okay, and then let's see, I think I want this little one over here to be a violet one, and then I will, let's see, I'll let those two, so this one will be a violet one. And I just tried to spread them around so that the colors would look properly placed once I finish, because I didn't want everything all lumped together. So those are the violet ones, and then the rest are going to be Jingleberry. So I'm going to grab a cloth real quick here, and I'll wipe away some of that Sweet Violet so I don't have it running where I don't want it to go. And then we'll bring in the Jingleberry. This is I used it, I think I used it last week actually too. This is a really nice color, and it coordinates with so many other colors. And again, I just did another light covering for this layer of the flower. And I know, Stephanie, right? Who knew you could have silver leaves? I just okay, so that's light there, and I think that's gonna be it for this stencil number 3. We're halfway already. Look at that. Okay, and then we're just going to continue with the next stencils that are remaining to add detail to to our flower. So with this layer, I'm going to add a little more color than I did the first time. And let's see, gotta be careful where I'm going here. We'll end up with a purple orange flower. Create a new color. Oh, but this is, I mean, it's so, look at how easy this is. It's just amazing to me that somebody could do this, and it just so much thought has gone into these stencils because you you don't have to think. I say it week after week. You just don't have to think when you're using her products. You can just play and have fun, and I love that. Okay, so I think that's all we need of the jingleberry for this stencil. I'll wipe some of that away because, oops, gotta be careful when you're wiping away because I tend to be a little heavy-handed, and some of these prongs are delicate. Okay, so then we'll add some purple, sweet violet here. So we'll add a little more detail, a little more color. There we go. Oops, you know what? I think I just made one of my orange flowers purple. Not paying attention. No, I don't think I did. We're okay. I keep calling it purple. It's sweet violet is the actual color name, but it looks purple. Very pretty purple. I love this color. And I'm just trying to go around both directions, adding a little more color than I did last time. And I didn't worry so much about trying to have all of the color perfectly even when I did this. I just wanted to make sure that it was darker than what was down there the first time. And I think it gives a little more natural look to how you actually see flowers. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do for that layer. That is stencil number 4. And I'll put that off there. We're getting prettier and prettier. And then here is stencil 5. And again, we're just adding more color and a little more detail. Not too worried about how much I'm adding at this point, because that next layer is just automatically going to be deeper by default. So it doesn't have to be super deep, but it's so quick. We are down to the next to the last stencil, and that's just really super quick. Okay, so I'm going to take off. I'm going to add the last bit of detail to my jingleberry flowers. So I want to take a little of that ink off out of the way so I don't make too much of a mess. And then just add that last bit of color everywhere. I'll pick up some of the, I have quite a bit of ink on my stencil. I could have done a little bit better job of saving some of my ink, I suppose. But there we go. Oops, here's a spot that I didn't even see when I was doing my Jingle Sweet Violet. Let me pick that up real quick. A little piece right here. There we go. And that's the nice thing, even if I totally forgot it, the nice thing about these stencils, you can put them back down and you'll be in the same place that you were. Okay, so now let's go back to finishing up our Jingleberry. I don't even know how to, just Jingleberry is really a good name for it because it's like it's not a red and it's not an orange, and it's got some, I don't know what those undertones are, but it's pretty. That much I do know. So there, we're almost finished. Look at that. Okay, and then the last stenciling we have to do is our Sweet Violet center. So we'll just put that in there like so. And oh my, isn't that going to be pretty? So I'll move these inks out of the way. And do, so there is our floral. Isn't that pretty? And just wait how it changes when we actually emboss it. But before I emboss it, I want to, while it's still flat, I want to go ahead and add my sentiment. So I'm going to bring my Misty in. And let's see, I'll stick this. I might have to move these inks out of the way. There we go. So I can move this up so you can see what I'm doing. And just stick that one up. I do have a sticky mat down in there. Not necessary, but it's just an extra precaution for people like me who tend to be a little clumsy. Okay, so what sentiment do we want? I think this would make a pretty birthday card. So how about we just pull out happy birthday? I did just a note for the first one, but I'm going to pull out happy birthday for this one because I have a girlfriend that's got a birthday coming up this month, and I think she might just end up with this card. We will see. Okay, I put that. Want to make sure it's straight. Hope my head doesn't get in the view of the camera. Let me. I guess that looks pretty straight. And pick that up, and then I'm gonna clean off this stamp. And let me get my black ink out here and just do tap it lightly. Uh-oh. I don't want ink everywhere. I was only on that stamp. I want that off. Okay. I think it's pretty good. And we'll just go ahead and do our sentiment. And I think that turned out just perfect. So we will move this out of the way. We'll take and give that a second or two to dry while we're putting this other stuff out of the way. And then the final thing before we add to our card front is we have to emboss this. Put some ink on there. Let me move this out of the way. So we're going to take out our 3D embossing folder. And this one does come with a die, but I'm not using it obviously for this project, but you could very easily. But this is a smaller card, and I'm just happy to keep it smaller. So we'll go ahead and line this up into the folder. And it lines up very easily, pretty quickly. My challenge is always not to let it slip after I put it in place. And I think I have it the way it ought to be. I think pretty close. There. I think looks pretty good to me. Okay, so just hold that down, and then I'll be off camera for just a second to emboss this. I'm using my Platinum 6. Okay. Get this out of the way. And let's take a look at what we've got here. Just beautiful. Lots of dimension on that. And the only thing we have to do now is add it to a card front. This is an A2 size card front. And of course, you can make bigger cards with this, but we're going to go with the A2. And just put some tape on there. And then add it to the card front. And we can add a few embellishments, and we'll be able to call this one. Oops, we'll be able to call this. Let me make sure I get it right. Oh. It's not straight, and that's not good. I want straight. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it perfect anyway. Okay. So there, that's better. Much better. Okay. Then we'll varnish that a little bit just to make sure that everything is get those edges smooth. Oh, could have put that over just a little bit, but I'll probably trim that off for the photos. You can always do that if your papers aren't exactly the same size. And so to wrap that up, the last thing we'll do is add some gems. I've got some Spellbinder Silver Mix gems here, and I'll just put a few here and there, and we'll be able to call this one done. Let's see, how about we put one here. I got some little babies. And up here, we'll put one. And over here, I'm kind of breaking the rules of odd numbers, but I do have odd groups, so I think that'll work. There we go. So that is today's card. I thank you all so very much for stopping by. I hope you like the project, and if you try it, be sure to share it in Lisa Horton's Facebook group. We would love to see your work. I thank you again for stopping by. I hope you have a fantastic week. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Have a fantastic week. Bye for now.